Old money. The oldest form of wealth operates by completely different rules than any other category. These fortunes were built generations ago through land, banking, and industry, and have survived through discipline most people would find suffocating. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, names that became synonymous with wealth before electricity existed. The shocking reality is how often even these fortunes disappear. Studies show 70% of wealthy families lose everything by the second generation and 90% by the third. Cornelius Vanderbilt died in 1877, worth the equivalent of $300 billion today. By 1973, when his descendants held a family reunion, not one of the 120 people attending was a millionaire. New money? Self-made fortunes built within a single lifetime from circumstances that made success seem genuinely impossible. John Combe, who co-founded WhatsApp and sold it to Facebook for $19 billion, used to sweep floors at a grocery store while his family survived on government assistance. What new money has that old money has forgotten is hunger. The specific clarity that comes from knowing exactly what failure looks like because you have lived near it. Elon Musk was simultaneously weeks from the permanent shutdown of both Tesla and SpaceX in 2008 while borrowing money from friends to pay his personal rent. He is now worth over $1 trillion. The distance between those two facts is what makes new money the most compelling wealth story in existence. Tech rich. Technology has produced more billionaires in less time than any other industry in human history. The reason is one property no physical business can replicate. Software has essentially zero marginal cost. Manufacturing the second car costs roughly as much as the first. But once Facebook's code was written, adding the 100 millionth user cost almost nothing compared to adding the first. Zuckerberg started Facebook in a dorm room in 2004. Today, Meta is worth over $1.4 trillion. Google turned down an offer to sell itself in 1999 for $750,000. That same company is now worth $2 trillion. The defining feature of tech wealth is equity. Founders own a percentage of their company, and when it goes public, that percentage converts into personal wealth almost overnight. SpaceX raised $85 billion in its June 2026 IPO, the largest in history, making Musk the world's first trillionaire in a single trading session. Real estate developer. Developers do not wait for assets to appreciate. They create the appreciation themselves by transforming land into something far more valuable. The leverage is extraordinary. A developer might put in 10% of a project's cost and borrow the remaining 90%. If it succeeds, returns on that equity are enormous. If it fails, losses can exceed everything they own. Donald Trump owed banks over $3 billion in the early 1990s when his casino businesses collapsed simultaneously. He survived not through financial strength, but because his personal bankruptcy would have damaged the banks more than a restructuring. Location, timing, and access to capital. When all three align, the fortunes are extraordinary. When anyone fails, everything built on top of it collapses with remarkable speed. Celebrity rich. Fame has always generated money, but the mechanism changed entirely in the last 20 years. George Clooney co-founded a tequila brand called Casamigos in 2013, spending almost nothing on traditional marketing. It sold in 2017 for $1 billion more than his entire acting career combined. Rihanna became a billionaire not from music, but from Fenty Beauty, which generated $550 million in its first year alone. Jay-Z's $2.5 billion net worth came not from rap royalties, but from stakes in champagne, cognac, a streaming platform, and a sports agency. The pattern is identical across every celebrity success story. Stop selling time and start selling equity in things your audience trusts you to recommend. Athlete rich. LeBron James became the first active athlete to reach $1 billion net worth, not through basketball contracts, but through his production company, a pizza chain investment, and a stake in Fenway Sports Group, giving him partial ownership of Liverpool Football Club and the Boston Red Sox simultaneously. Cristiano Ronaldo earns more from Instagram sponsorships in a single year than most professional athletes earn across their entire career. The athletes who retire wealthy almost always treated sport as a platform and business as the actual destination. The contract was never the plan. It was the starting capital. Investor rich. Warren Buffett has been sitting at a desk in Omaha for over 60 years reading company reports. He did not invent a product or start a technology company. He simply bought small pieces of great businesses and held them for decades. His net worth is approximately $168 billion, built almost entirely from patient long-term investing. A $1,000 investment in the S&P 500 in 1926 would be worth approximately $15 million today, with dividends reinvested. The investor who gets genuinely rich is almost never the most exciting person in the room. They are the most patient one. Crypto rich. Bitcoin was worth less than 1 cent when it launched in 2009. By 2026, it trades above $100,000 per coin. The Winklevoss twins invested $11 million of their Facebook settlement into Bitcoin at around $120 per coin. That position is now worth billions. Coinbase founder Brian Armstrong is worth approximately $11 billion, not from holding crypto personally, but from building the platform through which hundreds of millions of people buy it. Sam Bankman-Fried was briefly worth $26 billion in 2021. By 2023, he was convicted of fraud, facing decades in prison. No other category carries that specific combination of extraordinary upside and total catastrophic risk in such a compressed time frame.